Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be installing the carbon fiber spoiler from Souvenir, which is the CS design. And also I'm going to be adding the gloss black M3 emblem to the car. But before we get started, I do want to say that you guys know that I have been working on the garage little by little. Obviously I feel like it still needs some improvements, but this is something that I'm just kind of going step by step, and I want to show you guys something that has made my life a lot easier. So a lot of the projects that I've had with the car, I've put them to the side just because of the temperature. Like, I hate working in the cold. Obviously, people up further up north, I'm in North Carolina, but people further up north have to deal with colder temperatures. And I mean, I'm not used to it. We kind of have one of these crazy climates here in North Carolina where one day it'll be hot or it'll be warm, and then the next day it's freezing. So this is something that's gonna help you guys, especially up north. I wanna show you guys the new addition that I got. So here we have my Newair G56 portable heater. Shout out to Newair for sending this out, and also shout out to my brother for helping me do the connection. So about the connection, as you guys can see here, it does require a 240 volt connection, and if you don't have that, you do have to get that wired up to your house or your workspace. It's recommended for a 100 square foot area, so my garage is 400 square foot, and it's not a very big garage, but this actually works great. Within a matter of a few minutes, the garage is starting to pick up temperature, and I want to say I can turn it on, put it at a setting which is maybe a bit past the halfway mark, and I can come back in about 10 or 15 minutes and the area is comfortable for me to work in. So I hate working in the cold, and this is one of those things that I would recommend to anybody that's the same way that I am. I've had other heaters and I haven't really been happy with. I used to work in out of a one-car garage, and I used to have a small heater that barely did the job. This is it's a little bit bigger than the heater that I had, but this one works way better. So if you guys are interested in grabbing one, I will have it in the description down below. Check this out. It also has a 6-foot cable, so you're able to move it around to wherever you want to without just kind of being stuck in one spot, like right beneath the connection. So it has a little handle for you to carry the heater around, and also once you're not using it, you can just unplug it and wrap it around the little handle, and you can store it away. So check them out, guys. Newair, thank you once again for sending this out, and now let's get back to the video. Alright guys, so you guys know the deal. Here we got the spoiler. I went ahead and placed the double-sided tape that it came with on here already. So I cleaned the trunk with alcohol and the spoiler itself before applying the tape. So those are the steps. I'm sure you guys have seen plenty of installation videos on spoilers. So we're gonna go ahead and get this lined up. Everything's all cleaned up, ready to go. So let's go ahead and get this thing mounted on there. So with any piece that you're going to be installing, I recommend that you always do a test fit to make sure that everything fits like it should. This actually was a pretty much perfect fit, so it's not going to be that hard to get it on there. Alright, I think we're good. Spoiler's where it should be. Double check. Hopefully you guys are able to hear me a little bit better. I did have the heater going on. I had it off earlier, so it looks like the garage is back up to the temperature that I wanted to. So let's go ahead and peel this out. Do it slowly so it doesn't rip on you. Good. So now what you want to do is press on it for about 30 seconds. Yeah, so this is not going to be going anywhere. This is on there, and I hope I don't have to take it off because I'm kind of scared that I might damage the wrap. But it looks good. I'm happy with it. I know a lot of you guys were telling me to go carbon, and low-key, that's what I wanted. I was just kind of considering a different spoiler at that time, but I think this looks good, and this is gonna look good with the PSM style diffuser that I had on here. That eventually will be going back on the car. But yeah, here's a good look at it. It's just a little bit different. It's something different that I haven't had, and that's something that I wanted. I wanted to try a different style that I've never had, and I think this is a perfect one. I'm already gonna go aggressive with the rest of the kit, so I didn't want to go too aggressive with the spoiler because I feel like that probably would have been too much. And also my brother kind of mentioned it, so I considered it, and I feel like he was right. I didn't want to do PSM, and then just kind of go crazy with the rest of the kit too. So we went with the CS design on the spoiler for this time, and this is pretty good. I feel like this is one of those spoilers that you can rock whether you have no kit on the rest of the car, and then just have like a spoiler. You can rock this on the F30 if you're stock. So this works for both, whether you go with the aggressive route or the conservative, the clean, simple route. So what do you guys think? This looks good. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, oh yeah. So I will have this link down below for you guys if anybody that's interested. Once again, this is obviously for the F30 or the F80. So now let's go ahead and get started with the badge, because it looks a little naked back here. God, I wasn't even recording this whole time. What a retard. Woo, okay, so here we have the gloss black M3 badge. So what I was saying, the other day I was asking for somebody to help me out with some dimensions because I wasn't able to find them. This post actually looks familiar, but I don't remember if this was the one that I was looking at. But anyways, shout out to F80 Corey on Instagram. He sent me the link to a post on Beamer Post where a guy gave the rough estimates on where the badge goes. So as long as it's in a very similar area, it's okay if it's off by maybe like 1 or 2 millimeters. That's not going to be a big deal. But as long as I can get it straight and not at an angle, not too far right, I think we should be okay. Sorry about the heater, but as you guys know, if I'm going to be sticking stuff with double-sided tape, I want the room to be warm. So we got the heater going on. So anyways, I got the dimensions, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to be doing this, how to get the best idea if anybody's interested on doing the same thing. So we are going to go ahead and go. I'm probably going to put it on a time lapse because it is going to be a little bit confusing. I'm going to take my time to get it centered right, and then you guys will see how everything just kind of goes together, and then I'll explain it after. Alright guys, so what I ended up doing was, this is the post that I ended up using. So if you look at the dimensions, it'll tell you, I didn't go by the top, I just kind of went by the bottom. So I did a 1 inch from the bottom edge for the part right here, and then measured about ½ inch from the 3 down to the edge of the trunk. So what I first did was I took my tape measure and measured from this edge to about over here and got 6 inches. So I did 6 inches to there, and then I put the piece of tape going straight across, straight down. And then what I did from there was I measured from this edge of the bottom where the tape was, I went ½ inch up, and then I marked it, and then I went straight across. So then what I did was I took my level and tried to get the tape as straight as possible, and I was just placing the level on top of the tape to try to get the level centered. So once I did that, I had that line going on, and then I had the line going straight. So after that, what I did was, just to make sure before I placed it, I took the measurement from the edge to the top of the tape, just to make sure that it was about 1 inch. And once I had it close enough, I went ahead and, as you guys saw, placed the emblem on there with the tape still on there, the plastic actually on there. So once I did that, I put tape all over on the bottom piece of the emblem, and I ended up kind of creating like a hinge type. So once I got the bottom centered or leveled out, I made sure that the level was still kind of, I placed the level on top of the emblem to make sure that it was leveled. I played around with it, moved it around a little bit, and I knew it wasn't really going to be 100% perfect. You're not going to notice it unless you actually put the level on top of it. Just by looking at it, it looks pretty straight to me. So this is the best method that I could think of by going with these, and it worked out perfectly. So whenever you place the emblem, just leave the packaging on it. I already bought it up, but keep this on there. And if you notice, I still have all the tape on here, and it'll just make things a lot easier, because the emblem is super sticky. So the moment that you stick it on the car, good luck with that. So it's gonna stick on there, so just be real careful, and then you should be able to get it on there. Obviously, if you're debadging, well, if you're going from the chrome to the black, what you want to do is you want to put tape all the way across on everything. Just create like a little box, and then that way you can use those as your guidelines. But once you have those guidelines, obviously it's going to be a lot easier to place the black one. But for this one, you kind of have to go by measurements. For my case, you know, I didn't have a badge on here since the car was wrapped, so I ended up having to go by measurements. And then, you know, I think it looks pretty good. I like it. I like the black. I mean, this is chrome, and this could have been stayed chrome and it would have been okay. But I'm actually going to be switching out to matte black exhaust tips for the meantime. Shout out to F80 Corey for those two. Actually a big help, because I'm not a fan of those. Once I put the diffuser on, those tips are actually sunken in, and I don't like them. But I'm going to have to leave that for a different video, because I am going to have to drop the muffler and then cut those off and then place the other ones on. So